Get my headset on.
No time for love, Dr. Jones.
I don't know why I reused
Welcome
gloves.
back to Tucson, Arizona. I wanted to do that while Nick was still doing something else.
What a jerk.
I'm Randy. He is busy. We're back.
Yes. I was trying to set up because I gotta get going soon.
He goes, I'm going to set up real quick. I was like, just go ahead, set up. I'm going to start recording.
So I'm going to be opening these in the background so we can talk about... What would you like to talk about?
Right now, I'm going to talk about...
So, I will be doing Surging Sparks. Again, I'll show them all at the end. I have got 2 Scarlet and Violet just for the heck of it because I had to. 2 Celebration Packs, 1 Lost Origins, and 1 XY Evolutions just because I can.
So we're doing a fun one this time around. So while he's doing Pokemon-ish, I'm doing Shaw Classic Strongest Man on Earth cards that I had signed that I'm finally going to go through and sleeve. So these are all autographed. So we're doing 2 very different things.
They're pretty much the same.
I've got a Brian Shaw.
I've got a Pikachu. Let's put them to battle.
So, yeah. So Brian Shaw, 23. So I've got these all in order from the years of event. So Kevin Ferris, one of my favorites. So these are all autographed by the dudes, and I've just had them in their boxes. So yeah, Brian Shaw, Kevin Ferris. Brian Shaw, arguably one of the strongest dudes to ever freaking live. 4-time World's Strongest Man, 3 Arnold Strongman Classics winner, and 2020 Shaw Classic winner. And then he won again in 22 when he retired. Dude, Magneton?
This actually comes with a whole deck.
Dude, that's
I've
cool.
never opened one. Build and battle. Apparently, they come with a deck. That makes sense because you would battle.
Yeah, that's really
that
cool.
That makes a lot of sense. I don't know why I'm...
Pablo Cordiaca, also known as Handsome Pablo. If you're a fan of the sport, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not a fan of this sport or Pokemon cards, you might be in the wrong place. But if you're not in the wrong place, follow. Give me a follow.
Subscribe.
Yeah, see that? I remembered for the first time ever. And it's only because we've talked about it like 4 times in the last hour.
Today.
Trey Mitchell, Big Thicket. He's so freaking cool. These are all such great dudes.
I didn't even think about the Shaw Classic having them because I've never gone. I enjoy seeing and watching some of it, but I've never...
Yeah, it was a fun thing he did to help increase the purse.
Yeah.
So all of the money from the cards goes to the purse. So he prides himself on being one of the highest paid events for Strongman because Strongman, I mean, it's not a huge lucrative. I mean, most guys still have a job. Kevin Ferris, who I support so freaking much. I've got a couple of his hats. I wear every day, and I've had it for a couple of years. My wife wishes I would just retire the hat and throw it away because it's nasty.
There's some of those hats you can't, though.
Yeah, and his career and mine overlap. He's a pipe fitter for a living, and I do a lot of pipe fitting. So the first time I got to meet him, and he's known as the Giant Slayer because he's one of the smallest guys in Strongman at the pro level, like at the elite level. Has set multiple world records, and just an all-around good dude, Utah boy. Yeah, Snorlax.
Sorry. Utah boy.
So he's Utah boy, good dude, good family man, and just a down-to-earth guy. The first time I met him, we wound up talking for like half an hour about like work stuff and just regular things. And my wife and his wife became like really good friends. I got to interview him. If you've been around on the channel, go watch the interview. Although it's one of my first interviews, I'm not good at it. I certainly wasn't good at it then. I like to think I've improved since. But, yeah, probably not, realistically. But he was one of my first interviews. Super down. I was like, hey, bro, can I? And he was like, absolutely. Handed him a mic and just talked. And didn't really talk much about strength stuff. Just kind of like, hey, man, who are you? Where are you from? Like, what?
How's your mama? How's you doing?
Yeah, like talking to him about Utah and, just like chilling.
Is he Merman?
No.
No.
Nope.
I did not know.
And I asked him, and then I talked about you. I was like, well, my pseudo co-host is Jack Moore. He's like, yeah, never been Mormon, wasn't raised in it. Like, none of my family are. So I was like, interesting. Like, you're one of the few dudes from Utah that
Do you know
were never.
where he was raised in?
He says the name of the town. I asked him. He even told me. He's way up. He's outside of Salt Lake City.
Oh, okay.
So
I was curious if it was further or if it was close.
no,
Because of that.
he's like right out. Yeah, he's like right out. I was like, that's fascinating that you're not. He's like, yeah. He goes, I know it's kind of rare, but
And they don't, from my understanding, they don't really look down on people who are not.
yeah, no.
But there
From all
are
the
some
people
areas.
I've met, that yeah, I'm sure there's a few that are like, what? Well, I hate you. Get out of here. I'm gonna blow up your car. But like generally speaking, yep. Old Bobby Thompson, man, the American Nightmare. I also got to hang out and interview him. He is so much fun to talk to. Mitch Hooper, freaking dude, just came out and just won everything. The Moose, Max Boudreau. I gave this dude a ride.
Oh, you gave him a ride?
Yeah, he was in my truck. So I love Max. I call him the Wolverine. Some people call him that, because he's Canada and he's a big hairy dude. Super freaking strong. Evan T-Rex Singleton. I accidentally stepped on his toe while he was barefoot. I felt so bad about that, but he's such a gracious guy.
Did he lose because of you, then?
That was after.
Oh, okay. Well, can't blame it on you, then.
Thomas Evans played for the Green Bay Packers.
Oh.
Dude's super cool. Him and his wife are both amazing people. Trey Mitchell, super quiet, super funny, though. I've got pictures of me while grabbing his ass.
Nice.
And he did it back, so he's got a great sense of humor. Pablo Cordiaca.
Did he know you were going to do it?
No, he had no idea. And then Brian Shaw and Kevin Ferris. So these are the 2023 pack. I didn't get everyone to sign them because not all those guys were out, and not all the Europeans come out and hang out. So after the Shaw, because of the tickets we get, we got the behind the stage stuff, so we got to hang out after. It's the first and only time so far I've done it. This year, those sold out super fast, so I didn't get a chance to buy those tickets again. And on the one hand, it's worth it because you get to hang out with the guys after, but they're all super tired. Most of them just want to take off. But you're up really close, but it's not necessarily to your advantage because you've still got people in front of you. You can't always see everything. You're kind of craning. Being like you're in like foldable chairs and they're comfortable, but you're up close, just like you would be anywhere else. We got lucky, and the couple sitting next to us were super cool. So like we made friends immediately. But normally we sit in the normal stands, just a few rows up, and they're always amazing seats. Like I've gotten systematically better with my seats every year. This is the first year I've kind of gone backwards. I think we're like second or third row of the actual bleachers this year. So we don't get to hang out after, but most of the dudes still come and hang out at the expo all weekend. So at the end, so me and Trey had talked a lot, and he's really good friends with Kevin Ferris, and he saw me hanging out with Kevin Ferris most of the weekend. So we're hanging out after and just kind of chit chatting and whatever. And I was like, "Hey, brother, I forgot to have you sign my banners. Can you sign them for me real quick?" And he'd already signed all my cards, and he was really impressed that I showed up with 3 years worth of cards. He goes, "Dude, there's only one." He goes, "I don't even know if there's a 1 year of cards you're missing." He goes, "This is really cool." So he signed all 3 in a row. So we're joking and stuff. We're having a good time. It's after the event, like everyone's kind of chill. So someone was taking photos of the 3 of us standing there, and we'd been joking like dudes. So I was like, someone said, "Watch your hands" or something like that. So I was like, I just leaned down and grabbed his butt. And then I feel his big ass paw leaning down and grab my butt. So I've got pictures because whoever's taking photos was taking a lot of them. So you can see the progression in our faces going from just chilling to kind of smiling and then looking at each other. So yeah, super fun guy. Like definitely like
Legit.
good for a laugh, but he's really quiet. Like he doesn't really have much of an online presence. He's just a good old boy. Good old Southern Texas boy. So
Those are the best kind, though, to be honest.
Yep.
I like when, and not talking bad about other celebrities, but
Brian Shaw.
The quiet celebrities tend to be
The best. Generally, yeah.
generally. There are a couple exceptions.
So this should be this is my 22, right? So this is my 22. This is the first year I went. I got to meet Gabe Pena, but not hang out with him or talk to him or get an autograph or anything. This year, he was there hanging out. He wasn't competing, but he was there hanging out. And I had all my cards, so I had my 22 card. So I went up and met him, and I was like, bro, I got to say hi to you, but I didn't get to meet you. Can you sign this? He's like, bro, what? He goes, man, you brought that with you? I was like, yeah. So then I've got a big profile, like poster signed by him, and he signed one for everyone. I came back with like 4 or 5 of them. Thomas Evans, I got one from him too. And Kevin Ferris. All the dudes were pretty stoked that I came back with the 2022 and 2023 cards, because I buy a ton of these because they go towards the purse, and I know these guys, work hard for their money.
So hard for their money.
I was hoping you'd do it. So, like, I want to increase the purse, and I love that Brian does that. And when Brian was competing, if you're not a fan of strongman, please get out and watch a video, watch something. Strongman's amazing. Everyone in the world knows who Eddie the Beast is, Eddie Hall. Mm-hmm. I've met him. Dude's super cool. All of these dudes they're super gracious, very, very approachable. And these are elite athletes. But, so Eddie, he's coming back this year, so hopefully I get to meet him and actually talk to him. Mitch Hooper is hated by some in the community, but
why? I
think he's awesome because he rose to the elite level very quickly and in an uncharacteristic kind of way. Most people have to spend years grinding, like Troy, to reach certain heights. You have to go through certain channels. He just kind of blasted onto the scene, and his third major competition was
in the
Worlds.
Oh, okay.
The dude showed up, won a local event, which was a feeder event, which it's a qualifying event that qualified you for another big event. Won his first event ever, won it. Got invited to the next level, won that. Got invited to Worlds, won that. Got invited to Arnold's, won that. His rookie year, he was never not on the podium.
That's cool.
And I think he won. I think he only took second place once or twice in his entire rookie year. He just kept winning. So when you're a winner, Tom Brady,
cocky.
People hate you. Well, whether you're cocky or not. Cockiness does come with. When you're an elite at what you do, you're allowed to be a little cocky. You're allowed to be arrogant. Now, certain fans are going to hate you no matter what. So whether you're cocky or not, but yeah, dude, you don't get to be the strongest man on the planet without having a competitive drive and having a lot of belief in yourself, and that arrogance and cockiness comes with but he's super friendly, in person. But there are certain athletes that don't like him because they don't like how he came up, or in some cases, the fact that he doesn't, because he's reached such a high level, he doesn't always remember where he came from and show up to spend time at events with up and comers and stuff. He kind of blows off a lot of people, and that pisses people off.
I can see that.
So, like I said, I've spent a lot of time with some of these guys, and they're willing to talk.
Well, I kind of get their point of view, but I get his too. It's hard. When you come into something really fast, it'd be like opening a business. You want to grow at a good rate, but you grow too fast, you kind of outgrow your britches.
And that certainly happened with him. But
and I'm not talking bad about him. I don't know anything.
Yeah, I love him. I'm still a fan.
I don't want him to kick my ass, so I like
him. The first time I met him, so this is the kind of fan service you get from him. I met him, and we bought some shirts and stuff, and he was signing all of our stuff. So I've got a shirt in there that was a very limited run shirt, and I bought it and had him sign it. So I've never even worn it. and eventually it'll get in a shirt frame, almost like a jersey frame,
Yeah, that's what I figured you were talking about.
and then it'll hang in here. So, I met him, and I was like, "Hey, brother!" Like, so we're taking pictures, right? And he's doing the normal, half hug, and being super friendly, and we're chit chatting. I was like, "Hey, brother, I just want to thank you." And he was like, "What?" And I was like, "You're such a positive role model." I said, "My son, he's always been a heavy boy, and like he's really strong, but he's always struggling. He's always working out and everything to try to lose that weight." I said, "You're such a positive influence. Like you've really had an impact, and I just want to thank you for being a positive role model." Because his whole message, his whole thing is lift heavy, be kind, and like he will even pay for your tattoo if you get lift heavy, be kind in any way tattooed. Like
Oh,
he'll
that's cool.
reimburse you to get he just wants, that's the message he's pushing. And I was like, "Bro, I just want to thank you for that. Like my kid, he's always struggled with his weight, and just to have a positive role model that's just so, that's a healthy role model. Not
Yeah.
You're not out here pushing drugs, and you're not like being a rapper." And he was like, "Where is he?" Like he's looking for him. He's like, "Oh, where is he?" And I was like, "Dude, I can't afford to bring my kids. Like,
Yeah.
he's back home." And he was like, "Where's your phone?" So I take out my phone, and he records a video message to Richter. Just say, "Hey, Richter, like, keep working hard, keep lifting heavy, don't forget, always lift heavy and be kind, just like this really cool, like 20-second video of him just being a positive inspiration to Richter. Dude, made me cry.
That's cool.
Like, no joke. Like, I mean, it wasn't like, but like, dude got really choked up. Tears started coming. I was like, I wasn't expecting that. I didn't ask him to do it. He just took it upon himself to do it. And then I was like, "Dude, that means so much to me. Thank you so much." He was like, "Of course." And he wrapped me up in a big old hug. I don't mean a half hug. He wrapped me up in a full on, "I've known you for years" hug. And I was like, that's it. Like, I'm a fan for life. So then last year, because that was the first time of the expo, so it was the first time I'd ever met him, and it was his first year there. So then last year I see him again. I'm like, when I go up to say hi, and I took gifts for a lot of the athletes. I say, "Hey, brother, last year you sent a message, you recorded a message from my kid, and it had a huge impact. Like, I just want to say thank you. Like, that was huge. Thank you so much." And he was like, "Give me your phone. Let's do another one." So we did another one. So I was like, "Dude, like, I can't not be a fan.
Yeah.
Like, you're."
I could hate you, but then
Yeah,
I just
like,
hate myself for hating you.
yeah, exactly. Like, even if he's faking,
Yeah.
like, you're putting out such, like, you can't always fake that.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, so other people can hate him. I won't. And Troy goes back and forth on liking him or not. I mean, but he's in that world, so he's allowed to. And his wife can't stand his ass. But I told him that story. I was like, "Bro, you're never going to convince me to turn against him.
Yeah.
Like, I will be a fan forever." Like, he'd have to do something pretty wild for me to be like, turn my back on him. Like, I'm going to be a fan forever, because that's the kind of stuff that helps grow the sport. It helps. I mean, that's,
And it spreads positivity.
yeah,
That's
dude.
That's
Like,
what should matter.
yeah, like spreading love and not hate. Like, the dude's freaking awesome. So yeah, I'll never. I mean, that's it right there, man. I got a couple
Nice.
different ones, but yeah, see, that's how he signs it. So Mitch Hooper, lift heavy, be kind.
So I want to take a second real quick.
Yep.
We talked a little bit on on the last video about Daniel,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to let Richter know, if he ever watches this back years from now, Richter, you're a little shithead. But in the last year, you've came a long way, and you're doing awesome too, kid. Like, it's not all about Daniel. I'm not trying to leave you out, and I actually kind of felt bad about not saying something about it. So here I am. But you've still came a long way, dude. Like, I know you've got a long road ahead of you, and your path hasn't always been the easiest of walking, but you've still done really well for yourself, and you're still a good kid. You help with my kids when they come over. Me and my wife both love you to death. So just keep your head up, kid.
He's getting there. He's still, yeah, he's still trying to figure it out.
Hey, he's still younger too, and
Yeah, he's
it's hard because I used to always see John. They'd be like, "Oh, John did this, John did that." My older brother, and most of the time it wasn't good at a certain point. But like even that, like I'll always remember this, and it bugs the crap out of me because they had that. It was before I knew you. They had a competition not Best Buy. Where you used to rent videos or Blockbuster, and
Oh, was this the Donkey Kong?
yeah, dude, I played and played and played, and they had a thing like whoever won the most points on Donkey Kong, and you had like 5 minutes or something, would win the new Super Nintendo with Donkey Kong, the combo set, and I practiced for weeks, I think, on that stupid game. We had to rent it over and over and over. My parents wouldn't buy it. We had to save up and rent and rent. I don't think he practiced, and that dude fucking destroyed me, and I was so mad. I mean, we still got it. It was at our house, but it was so mad, and like I always just felt like he got more accolades than I did, even though I was the one doing better in school and the better here and better there. Like, so I just didn't want to leave Richter out. I actually felt bad. I thought about it afterwards. So Richter, love you, kid.
Yeah, he and I have been having some a lot more like real conversations.
Daddy-daughter talks.
Yeah, yeah, but like with him actually kind of listening, because for years he heard what he wanted to hear. So yeah, we've had a lot more like proper conversation.
Yeah,
And
you can see the change.
so let's see, where is it? Is there only the two? 23. Yeah, you retired in 23 and 22. Okay, yeah, I guess I only got 2 for him, which sucks. But yeah, like we've been having more real conversations, and I touched on a little bit on the last video talking about my grandfather being Green Beret, and he really looks up to warriors like that, like elite, because that's what he wants. He wants to be an elite Mr. Badass.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, cool, dude. Like, I'm all for it. I would love to see that. I mean, he's an officer in JROTC. I mean, he's been doing it for a couple of years now. He's really good at it. He's very respected by his peers. I'd love to see him reach that level of success and go all the way with an amazing career in the military. And he's getting there. He's he's a lot like me. He's had to learn the hard way before really like learning the lesson. Like I had to take my lumps before I finally like, oh yeah, I get it now. I can stop being stupid. Mm-hmm. And he kind of has had to do the same thing, which, I mean, I feel bad for him. It's unfortunate for him, but dims the brakes sometimes. Some of us are a little thicker, and we just have to roll through the fire before we finally get our act together on our own.
I watched a lot of what you did, and I learned.
It's the healthier way to live. Like, learn from someone else's mistakes.
It's hard when you're in it, though.
Yeah.
There's so many times I've been doing something that afterwards I look back and I was like, how did I not know I was being stupid? I mean, a lot of the time.
I always knew I was being stupid.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I was oblivious. I think that's one of my biggest problems. I'm oblivious.
I know I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm doing it. Yep. And then later I'm like, I knew I shouldn't have been doing it. Why was I still doing it? I regret everything. Now I'm like, I regret nothing. There we go, slowly. So that's 2 Brian Shaws, rare and super rare. Autographed.
They have a rarity to them? That's pretty cool, actually.
No, just because you're doing those.
Oh,
Hafthor Julius Bjornsson. That's the Mountain. Everyone knows who the Mountain is. This is him.
Except for the Mountain, he doesn't know.
And then I got 22, 23, and 24, Mitch Hooper. But yeah, see all of them. The trooper. Lift heavy, be kind. Lift heavy, be kind. That's been his thing, man.
It's cool. It's a good message. It really is.
Yes, sir, it is. Which is why I thanked him. Like, the problem is, once I started putting them in penny sleeves,
They slide.
these two boxes,
Aren't big enough.
the first 2-year boxes, they don't fit. So I'm having to try to get them all to fit. Dude, big Pikachu!
Dude, I've seen that one sell for a lot. That's cool. I like that one.
Surfing Pikachu.
That
Looks
one's
like
out
a
of the
big.
celebrations. I've never opened a pack before. That's pretty legit. Really sad I don't have more of these now. I've never opened these ones. Rish Moran.
See, this is one of those things that just aggravates the piss out of me. Because Alexei Novikov was trying to take off quick, who's 2020's world's strongest man from Ukraine. His autograph is here.
Mm-hmm.
So Novikov. And Satin, Half-Four, Brian, Maxime Boudreau, Kevin Ferris, Novikov, right here. So it's behind Nick. You cannot see. But this. So I got him to sign both of these and my hat that's in the hat box in the living room. Right? On the entertainment center.
Mm-hmm.
So I've met the man, but he was in kind of a hurry to leave. Didn't get either of his cards signed, which just irks the piss out of me. So then, the one that aggravates me the most. So Tom Stoltman has been here twice. This year will be his third time. I spent 10 minutes being this man's cameraman, and another like half an hour, 40 minutes hanging out with his cameraman, recording him, talking to him, standing this close to Tom while talking to Tom, his cameraman. And I didn't have him sign his cards. And his brother Luke, who is one of my all-time favorite strongmen. I've met him. Ran into him like 8 times that weekend. Talked to him. Got pictures with him. My camera, I didn't find out till later. My camera failed, so none of the video saved from us hanging out. And I didn't have him sign. I had him sign my hat that first time, but didn't have him sign his card. I don't know if he's coming this year. Konstantin Janesha hasn't been back. Gabriel Raum hasn't been back. And Zadrunas Zaviskas, the only other person in conversation to be the greatest strongman in history besides Brian Shaw. They didn't have a way to meet any of these guys. The only one and only time he's been there. So I didn't get his autograph on anything, which is freaking heartbreaking because him and Brian are the two greatest to ever do it. So I've got to find a way to get to meet these men again and get these cards signed.
Coming from a noob point of view, because again, I only know really what you told me. What makes Brian Shaw the greatest? Like,
so from my opinion,
okay,
it's his quantity of wins and what they were. So he was a 4-time world's strongest man. Only, I think, 3 men have ever done that. Only one has ever won 5, but I don't count a few of his wins because it was at a time where World's Strongest Man split into 2 different organizations. Mm-hmm. He stayed in one organization and pretty much all of the major competition went to the other. So they all went OSG. So he kept winning. So Mariusz Pudzianowski kept winning because all of his major competition that was actually giving him real competition left the organization. And they were competing somewhere else. So he didn't really have elite level guys to go up against him. So he just ran through people. So he has 5 wins, but I call 3 of them hokum. Like he didn't really have dudes at the top level competing against him. Brian always was competing against the top guys, and he should have been a 5-time world's strongest man. But him and Zadrunas Zaviskas were in battle with each other for the better part of a decade. Like it was them back and forth, and there was actually, was it 6 years in a row that it was one or the other winning World's Strongest Man. So he'd win, and then Big Z would win. Then he'd win, then Big Z would win. It was just this back and forth. But I think it was 04, somewhere right in there. He won, but they had this weird rule called a count back. So they tied on an event. So they counted back to who won the last event, and then that person would win. So on count back, Big Z won, but Brian Shaw, like, it was snatched from the jaws of victory. Like, Brian Shaw should have won it, and in my opinion, he should have won it. And in a lot of people's opinion, he should have won it because it was that stupid count back rule he lost, and Big Z took it. Otherwise, he would be a 5-time World's Strongest Man title holder. And he should be.
The count back rule, is that something Shaw had put into place?
No, that was something that the organization had.
Gotcha.
So, but it
I know he
screwed,
helped
screwed
start
Brian.
a lot of it. So.
He was not really. He was instrumental with a few things later. He would be more instrumental now, except he's in competition with them. But for some reason, World's Strongest Man views Brian as competition instead of working together and just being another competition, which is good for the sport. They view him as a threat, so they were actually like shit talking the Shaw Classic for a while because they Worlds viewed it as a problem. So
Gotcha.
it's just kind of, it starts getting into the politics and the financials of everything. But yeah, Brian, 4-time World's Strongest Man, 3 Arnold Strongman Classics, and a litany of other things. So he's prolific, but it's also the numbers he puts up. Like he was setting the tone that other people couldn't answer. So like he would go do, we'll call it, we'll say a squat, and the next guy just couldn't match his numbers. He's just elite.
No.
So when you're like that, it's like, how am I supposed to do anything about this? So then like Eddie Hall and the Mountain in 2017 were in battle, and it came down to the wire. Like Thor still feels he was robbed that championship, but he wasn't. He kept double dipping on this overhead press. These guys are shown, you get hours of being shown each implement, how to do the lift properly, what the judge will allow and what they won't allow. You go through that for an entire day of equipment, equipment.
Awareness almost.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it's called, but you're testing all the equipment. You're getting familiar with it, because half the time every year there's a new event with brand new equipment that was just designed. So it's going to take you a couple hours to like figure out. Plus they lock you in on adjustments. Typically they go, okay, what's your height? They stand you there. They go, okay, what's a good height? They lock in the pins. They record. Okay, yeah, when Thor comes up, everything needs to be adjusted to these set points, because that's what we went over yesterday. These are his settings. But on this leg press, it was a mine cart full of rocks that he was shoulder pressing.
I saw that one.
Yeah, you can't double dip, so you can't dip at the knees to help you spring it back up, and he kept doing it. He knew 2 days earlier in preparation he can't do that. The judge kept calling him on it. Magnus Magnuson, a previous multi-title World's Strongest Man, kept calling and said, you can't do that. Stop it. If you do it again, I'm taking away a point. He gave him like 3 or 4 dirty presses and then finally took away 2 points. And he was standing there competing again. It was 2 guys doing them at the same time, and it was Eddie Hall and Thor for the title. And he kept doing that, so he felt he was robbed the title. It's like, no, dude, you were told several times. He kept yelling at you. It's all on video. You kept doing it. You didn't get robbed. You robbed yourself. Yeah. And that's when Eddie won in 2017 and then retired, and is now one of them, is arguably as famous as the Mountain. So, and Eddie's prolific in his own way, but Brian was putting up just big numbers. He's one of the smartest lifters to ever do it. And now Mitch Hooper, I think, is rivaling him for that, because Mitch Hooper actually has, I don't think he's not quite a doctor yet, but he does have like a master's in, like in the human body and body conditioning and stuff, and that's his career field, is mostly working with the elderly, like in homes and physical training. So the dude knows the human body, understands how things work, how your body breaks down all the materials, how muscle fibers and tendons are affected by certain things in certain diets. Like the dude is just really smart, very well read, and that's what made Brian so successful, was being almost over analyzing every little movement and what maximizes strength in something and what will maximize potential.
No, that makes sense.
And that's what Mitch Hooper does too, which is why, like, it pisses Tom Stoltman off that Mitch Hooper interfered with the title streak for a year, but it makes sense. Like, Mitch Hooper came out, he was a competitive what's the distance runner? Ultra marathon runner. Mm-hmm. He's a competitive ultra marathon runner, an amazing golfer. Was he a swimmer?
See, I would not put golfing in links with something that a strong man was doing, just because the mobility.
It's very rare. He's also one of the. You wouldn't look at like I've got a pretty thick neck for just a dude, but I mean I work out a lot, but like I've got a thicker neck. My neck 2 years ago when I met Mitch Hooper, my neck measurement was significantly fatter than his, and he's 6'3"? Yeah, he's 6'3", 320 pounds. Is that the right car? It's 2024, so I met him in... Come on. Because I met him in 22. Yeah, he was still 320, so he's maintained... That's funny. So he was going by 6'4" in 22, and then he's been 6'3" ever since. So he's 6'3". Yeah, and he gained 5 pounds last year. So 6'3", 320 pounds. I was probably like 250, 255 when I met him, and my neck measurement was bigger than his.
Gotcha.
So it's how he's built is different. Since this year, the dude's looking big. Like, he's definitely bulked up. I was watching a video of him the other day. He's put on some size in some different areas, but he was on the lighter side at just over 320 pounds. Alexei Novikov was like the first guy to win World's Strongest Man, like being that light. He was only like 330 pounds when he won.
Yeah, that's nuts. That's
like 100 pounds lighter than most of the rest of the field.
Yeah. And
significantly shorter, because I think Alexei's only 6'2", maybe 6'3", but he's like right in there. He's on the shorter side also, because most of these guys, I mean, Tom Stoltman is 6'10", Brian Shaw is 6'8", both well over 400 pounds. Brian Shaw at competition is like closer to 450. So like right here, 425. Back when he was winning worlds, he was 450. So I mean, that's significantly shorter. I mean, that's 5 inches shorter. Hell, Hafthor's 6'9", 430.
That's nuts.
He's 6 inches shorter and 100 pounds lighter and winning. Like, it's insane. So, yeah, and right there, exactly 100 pounds lighter. 6'8" versus 6'3", so he's 5 inches shorter, 425, 325. And just keeping up. And just getting better every year. It's freaking insane. I've watched because he was a marathon runner, and I think he was a swimmer. He did another athlete. Like, he did another sport. Dude, his legs are pretty big. The first year, he's an impressive specimen to stand next to, because he's not just a big heavy boy like most of these guys. Like Trey Mitchell's a big ass heavy boy. But dude, his thighs got bigger the second year, and they're bigger last year. And I'm like, dude, like your legs are just getting bigger and bigger.
And he's not gaining weight.
No. But his legs are stupid to look at. Like that, the muscle that runs across the top of the thigh.
Yeah.
Dude, bulges out like 2 solid inches.
That's nuts. Just
standing there, not even like pumped or underweight. His calf, I'm like, the guy's an insane specimen. But that's what happens when you understand how the body works.
Yep.
So if you've watched this before, then you will know that last year, and if you haven't, then go back and watch some of them. Last year, I took Lego minifigs that looked like the athletes and gave them as gifts to most of the athletes. This year I have a 3D printer. So this year I found a file a couple weeks ago, and I started looking for ones that are similar but different. So the Stoltmans are the world's strongest brothers, Luke and Tom. Last year I gave them Lego minifigs that the minifig is wearing chili pepper, because that's their thing, is they're the spicy Stoltmans. So I gave them to dress these little chili peppers. So this year I found these files that are garden gnomes dressed up in things. So there's a garden gnome dressed like a chili pepper. So I printed up one just to do a test file, because eventually I'll do them with multicolors, because I can do 3 different color print on this for this file without going in and editing it. So I'll give them like a different color beard, different color nose and hands, but yeah, I'm gonna make them red chili pepper.
That's cool.
I'll probably take this one and have them sign it for me. So I'll just bring it back. Like, hey man, that's the prototype. Can you sign it? But there's garden gnomes. The first one I found is meant to be the Hulk, but otherwise he just looks like a big strong man flexing and like growling. So I'm gonna print up a bunch of those for some of the guys that don't really have like a theme to them, and give them those. I was like, I'll find a chili pepper, and sure enough, I found one the other night. So that's why I printed it up. So I'm gonna print up a bunch of these guys for the strongmen, and I'm gonna give them to. They're giving me so much entertainment, and they like giving me their time. So I like to go there not empty-handed and giving them something for their time. Just a thank you, like, hey man, thanks for doing what you do. What you do with what I give you is your business, but I think they'd appreciate it, at least in the moment. Plus, it makes fun video. Watching their responses. T-Rex laughed so hard when he got his little strongman. They all enjoyed him. So hopefully they all exist somewhere, like on a shelf. Thor really liked his, but he told me straight up, he goes, my boy's going to steal this. So I was like, that's cool. At least I got to give it to you. So I gave the mountain a Lego. It looked like the mountain.
Did you design them, or how did you?
I know. Well, I went to the Lego store, and because I have one in the other room. Eventually I'll bring it in here, but it's a Lego man that's wearing the like a cheetah jumpsuit, like a classic old school circus strongman.
Oh, okay.
Like Tarzan style, with this big thick 1870s mustache and a big 100-pound balloon elephant dumbbell. So because that exists and I have one, I was like, oh, I was driving by and I was like, man, it'd be kind of cool to give everybody something, like it'd be kind of fun to do, and it'd make fun video, but mostly like I just want to give them something. And I was like, and I wanted to go to the Lego store anyway, because I like going there. It's not the Lego store. It's Bricks and Minifigs. We have one in Tucson, and there's one right down the street from where we stay every year when we go there. So I was like, hey, I want to go here. My wife was going to go shop somewhere. And I was like, I'm going to go to Bricks and Minifigs just to hang out. And I was like, wait a minute. The strongman Lego, I bet they have them there. Like, because they have all these little minifigs up in the glass counters, like where my Legos are out here. They just got rows of those counters, and you can just go buy minifigs. So it was like the whole Simpsons series. If you're missing one, you can go in there and buy, you're missing Itchy, but you have Scratchy. You can go there and buy it. Yeah. So I was like, I guarantee they're going to have at least a couple of these. How cool would it be to give these to some of the guys? And she was like, oh, that'd be so great. So we go in there, and I think they had like 7 or 8 of them. They're like $5 a piece. So I think they had 8 of them, and they were like $5 a piece. So I bought them all, and the dude was like, what's going on? Meanwhile, she was off, and there's bins of just loose accessories, hats, beards, mustaches, hands, legs, whatever. So she went off to go find, like, Trey Mitchell wears this really big cowboy hat, right? So she went to go find a really big cowboy hat. The Singleton, Singleton he's the T-Rex, but I couldn't find like a T-Rex or a dinosaur thing to put on him. So I just took the mustache off and just gave him just the guy. But the Stoltmans are the chili peppers. Well, there's another minifig that's someone wearing a red chili pepper costume.
That's cool.
Like big costume. So I bought 2 of those and put the chili pepper on the one strongman guy, so he's still holding the dumbbell, and then just the other chili pepper guy, I gave him that. I was like 2 the spicy Stoltmans. So like we tried to accessorize the minifigs with things that are characteristic of the guy. So there's like a big beard we put in a hat because Bobby Thompson's always wearing this fitted hat kind of down low across his face. So she found this fitted hat for him, and he's got the big black beard like me. He actually looks a lot like my Uncle Rob.
Oh, okay.
Just a little bigger. So we actually look related. So, and he's super cool. I've actually got his name placard from that event, from Shaw last year that he signed for me. It's in there on the next room. So eventually it's going to come in here and hang up. But yeah, so each guy I just kind of outfitted with something that kind of suits whatever their persona is, whatever they're known for, and just kind of customized each little minifig.
That's cool.
So this year I'm trying to print garden gnomes that have some characteristic to what they're known for. So hopefully it works out, and hopefully I find enough files to make me happy enough to. And then the one that looks like the Hulk is probably what half the guys will get that don't really have like a thing. But then the ones that have like the chili peppers or moose or Wolverine, like there's a few that are going to get customed. But yeah, I want to give each of the guys one of these because it makes me happy to think about. Nice. And it's going to be fun. It's going to make me happy to hand it to them. Like, hey man, I got you something. Like, and who doesn't like getting something free? You know what I mean? Like, who doesn't like getting a gift? So, and a thoughtful one. So, I'm a thoughtful gift giver, even to people that I only kind of know.
Yes, he is.
A few of them remember me every year, and a few of them aren't going to remember everyone they meet. And I don't feel insulted by that at all. Because, I mean, if I was meeting thousands of people every year at every event, I get it.
So, I ran out of those. I have some at home.
I wish mine were here already.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm missing like 20, so but I'll just do another one. But I'll show them real quick because I got to get going soon.
Stupid.
I know.
It's like you got a house and a family and kids to raise or something. So dumb.
So this first set is Surging Sparks. These ones are from the Surging Sparkses. Not gonna name them all, but I will try to go through them fairly quickly. Togepi. Toros. These are all just the reverse hollows, along with these. So much easier with our gloves on. Rivet.
Riveting. Rivet.
Well, I'm doing this. Go through these two stacks because these are the more expensive ones. It looks like.
Kairano. Serrano. Energy. Search pod. Surfer. Slacking. Nice. Born to slack. Bruxish. Oh, nice, dude. You got the Pikachu EX.
Yep.
I think that's like the second one of those you pulled, isn't it?
Yeah, I got one of the Japanese in the Super Electric.
Vibrava. Amulet of Hope. Latias CX. I think you pulled a few of those. Oh, another Pikachu EX. The different art. Dude, the Palisand. Yeah.
That one's cool.
Cyclaser. Durant. I have this Durant. I got it like in a Givey or something. Black Kyurem. Groudon. Reshiram. There's some cool art in here.
There.
Kyogre. Solgaleo. Oh, you got two of that guy. Nice.
Those are the celebration ones.
Two of that guy, too.
I'll try to keep them separate.
Surf View. I see. I picked up the pack when I picked up this. Otherwise, I didn't know what those other two piles were you gave me, so I just kept them to get like off to the side.
And these ones are the other ones too. I sleeved everything.
You got yourself a Chansey. Chansey.
I really like that one. The black Kyurem. I like both of those.
Oh yeah.
I got 2 of them. The one's just the EX.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that one first.
These ones are Celebraciones.
El Celebración!
As Randy dances in the background.
Woo-hoo!
And then I got a surfing Pikachu,
let's
which is pretty cool.
celebrate.
Oh, that one's probably one of my favorites I've seen.
Let's celebrate.
It looks like he's not surfing. It looks like he's one of those like
Yeah, the big balloons.
balloon animal.
Yeah, like a Thanksgiving Day parade.
Yep.
That's what I thought he was. Until you said he was surfing.
These ones are from
Your mom.
Scarlet and Violet.
That's what I said.
And King Gambit. I don't know if you saw that one. That one's actually probably my favorite.
Oh, dude, what?
That's my favorite of all the ones I pulled out of that set. So, out of Lost Origins, Colress's Experiment,
Oh,
and Dark
cool.
Patch. And out of the EX, I got Chansey.
Houndoom. Lone Star. Dude, put on your headphones real quick. Just for a second. Just for a second. Lone Star.
Yeah, that actually works really well. That works really well, oddly enough.
Raspberry. Only
One
one man would dare give me the raspberry. Lone Star.
I missed that movie.
I'm such a child. Dude, so check this out.
Okay.
What is it?
It looks like Mario.
No. The better one.
GoldenEye?
Better than Mario, but the same.
Luigi?
There you go. What's he holding?
Gun.
With a...
Silencer?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And on his back?
A backpack?
Uh-huh. And he's wearing, what would you call that? As an overcoat.
A hoodie?
Yes. And his name is Luigi. Luigi Mangione. The man who shot the CEO.
That's funny.
Someone created the file to make him look like Luigi Mario.
That's funny.
And I
like
could
it.
not help but print it. Not because I give a damn about Luigi Mangione, but because when else are you ever going to see Luigi Super Mario brother holding a pistol with a silencer
That's pretty
in
funny.
a hoodie, looking like an assassin.
Yeah, that looks pretty funny, dude. See,
So I had to do it. So next, I think I'm going to print, if the file still exists, I'm going to print one red and one green. So then it
Nice.
looks like Mario and Luigi.
Luigi.
But I had to do it with the bronze. I was like, that looks so cool. It looks like a little statue.
that's funny.
I saw that file. I was like, Luigi Mangione. Holy crap, that is so funny. And then the description was like, do you get it? That's all he said.
That's funny, dude.
So I had to do it just because it's Luigi with the silenced pistol. It's such a weird timeline we're living in.
So, random question. But Luigi or Mario?
Oh, Luigi.
You like Luigi better?
Yeah, I always have. I don't know why. Because there's no difference. Like in the original games, especially the original game, there was no different. They just needed a second player character.
Correct.
So they just made one a little taller and put him in green. To me, there should be no differentiation. Ah, dude, nice.
These look like the originals.
They
that's why.
do.
Sorry.
Was there Super Arcanine and Growlithe, dude, nice. I couldn't. You went quick. I didn't notice. I didn't pick up if it was 2 Growlithes or one of each. That's
And then
life is so
they
cool.
do like a reverse hollow for the hollows.
I saw it laying there. Chansey. That's why I yelled Chansey.
But yeah, so they didn't originally.
What about you?
So it's weird because like video games and
It's weird.
stuff,
It's weird.
I prefer Mario's moves in some things because they give him better moves. But I like Luigi better, and even like Luigi's Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
They make him a scaredy little cat. and I'm like,
Mario.
"Why?
I know that pisses
don't
me
like
off, dude.
it at all.
I'm with you. I agree. Yeah,
Just make it so that he was the one that got left behind and he has to fight. Like, why does he have to be a scaredy cat? That doesn't make any sense.
I'm with you.
I
Yeah,
like
they took the Mario out of Luigi. It's kind of annoying because they should be the same. They're brothers. They were originally the same character. One was just a little taller. There's a few pixels higher to differentiate, and they made him green versus red. They're the same. They should have all the same abilities. I don't like that they made him like weaker and scareder. They did the same thing in the movie. They made him less cool. I don't know if it's just because I'm a fan of the underdog or what, but I don't know. I've always liked Luigi more. Now, if you're talking about gameplay, yeah, Mario's always the better character to play as because they always give him the thing. But they treat Luigi like a redheaded stepchild, and that annoys me.
Unless it's on Super Smash Brothers. Super Smash Brothers, I far like Luigi's moves better. Like, by far. But
Talk about like the more modern Smash. I haven't played all the modern ones.
even I think the old one, I think I preferred Luigi. I don't remember now. It's been a while since I played it.
I played as Kirby a lot.
But when you're playing like the Mario Odysseys or any of those, I don't know if it's Odyssey's the one that we were playing, but one of the Mario games, like Mario's moves are better. So, and honestly, like even Super Mario Brothers 2, Peach being able to float, very convenient. Or number 3.
Yeah, number three.
No, I think it was 2 because 2 was the cheesy one with the guy who shot the eggs and stuff. I think that was number 2.
I feel like that was number 3. When
No.
you get the raccoon suit and everything is number 3.
Yeah, that's number 3, but number 2 is like the cheesy, cheap one. 3 was much better than 2. Number 1 was the original, and then number 2 had like, it was weird, and number 3, yeah, it was number 2. Is the one I'm thinking of, because that's the first time you could float with Peach and stuff. And number 3, you couldn't play as Peach. Number 2, you can.
It's been so long.
Yeah.
I just know you always liked 3 the most,
Yeah, I liked 3.
and I liked number 1 the most.
Yeah.
Because you're always like, I'm going to go through like the day your parents' RV burnt down that I had nothing to do with.
Again.
You were replaying number 3.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think we played it so much, I kind of got burnt out on it.
That's possible.
So like you still enjoyed it. I was like, I'm going to play the PlayStation because I don't really want to play number 3 that much. Like it's not that I don't like it. It's just we played that a lot. Like, but like
And-
going back, I'd love to replay it.
What game did we play the most?
Well, there's a few. We played Crystalis an awful lot.
That game was
Yeah,
so...
I was pretty excited for you a few years ago when you finally beat it,
Yeah.
knowing that we were 2 minutes away from beating the damn game.
Dude, we just didn't go down one hallway. We missed one thing.
Yeah.
One thing.
Another one we played a lot, which is why I brought it up in an earlier video. Go back and watch all these. Contra. We played that a lot, and I'm so stoked for that low budget film to come out. Altered Beast, played that not a lot, but we did play it mostly out of my nostalgia because it's the first video game I ever played with my dad, and he didn't really game a lot. So Altered Beast has like a special place in my heart. That and Sonic, because that was the second game. Like my dad bought Sonic, I played it, but we didn't play it together. So he bought we also had Altered Beast because he bought the Sega Genesis when it first came out, and it came with Sonic and Altered Beast. So, like I played Sonic independently, and then he and I, as a father-son thing, because I was like 4, we played Altered Beast together. He'd come home from work, and then he'd like sit down with me on the floor. And I was telling the story to a buddy of mine yesterday because we were talking about old school games because it's on my mind because I'm unpacking all my old games, and we were talking about Altered Beast. He's like, "Oh, I loved that game," and he's older than me. So he's like 51. So like he was a teenager when all that came out, and I was a little kid. So our memories of it like kind of hit differently because he was a teen going through teen life playing that game, and I was a little kid just before, like a year before my world imploded. So life was different for me. Like I know it may not sound right to like describing this to somebody, but I mean,
Yeah.
So like my life was the picket fence, 2 parents, everything's great household when that game came out and entered my life, and me and my dad just sitting down playing a video game together. But we had the big like 140-inch projection TV that he refused to hook up a system to because it would break the TV. D&D makes you worship the devil,
Yeah.
But then we had like a little 19-inch box TV on top of it that when our house burned down, all of that melted together. The Sega melted to the TV melted to the other TV. But we sat on the floor playing this game together for, an hour or two a day. And then on weekends, a couple of times when he wasn't having to work because he worked in the mines, we'd play together. So it's some of my earlier memories. It's my first like gaming memory is me and my dad playing Altered Beast together. So that game has a very, very special place in my heart. And then a year later, my mother left and life has been different ever since. And my dad never really played games with me much after that. Like every once in a while, I could get him to come in and like play a round of something. Yeah. And especially if it was like an old school game that he'd played before, like an old NES game when I started like collecting NESs as a teen, because our NES also melted to the TV. So when I started collecting NESs and Supers, he'd come in there and play games for like 20 minutes or whatever. I'm like, oh, this is really cool. And then he'd go back to working and like making things happen for us because he's raising kids on his own. So like that game just hits different for me. It has a very special place in my heart. Is it the best game ever? Not at all. But it hits, dude. Like that's why I've got the Altered Beast Pop. It's the only reason I bought it is because it's got that special place for me. But yeah, dude, like love old games.
You want to hear my oldest memory of playing video games?
Yes.
You will not know the house, but when we lived in Utah.
I know how. I've been there. I was there yesterday.
You'd walk in the front door. It was a weird living room, like a smaller living room. And then off to the right, there was 3 stairs, and it went down into like a weird den area, but it was pretty much a bedroom. My brother or sister lived in it at most points. When you walked straight through the living room, there was the kitchen. The garage was off to the side, and you went out the kitchen to get out the garage. And then the laundry room was over there behind like the den area. And then you turn left, and there was bathroom, 2 bedrooms, and master bedroom with bathroom just down the hallway. My parents set up the N6, the regular Nintendo in the den, and there was a small couch there. And this is the reason it is my first memory of playing video games. I remember us all playing video games down there, and my aunts would come over, and everybody like you'd take turn at Mario, and you would play till you died, and then you pass the controller.
Yeah,
that's. Just it didn't matter how far you got.
Yeah.
So I remember my Aunt Deb, and I doubt she'll ever see this, but she used to do something that I think it's probably why I don't like feet don't gross me out.
You're just not a fan.
I just don't want them near my face. Like I'll massage Jackie's feet, like I don't care, but when they get near my face, I get mad. And she used to sit behind us, and so we would die because we were better at the video games, even though we were little. So we would die, I'm assuming, like in my brain, maybe I made that up, but she would always reach forward and she would grab our ears with her toes and like pull our ears. And that is my first memory of playing video games, is playing Mario and her pulling my ear with her toe. And it annoyed the piss out of me.
That sucks, dude. I feel bad for you that's your earliest gaming memory.
But it was still fun because like they would laugh and be like, "Stop it, Deb, stop it." Like it was a playful thing.
Yeah.
I
know, but looking back on it, it's not like, in the moment, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with, like, intrinsically wrong, but the fact that you look back on it, you're like, son of a...
That's literally my...
Like, that just sucks. Because mine is sitting there, me, little, like, 4-year-old me, like, laughing and joking with my dad about, like, turning into a freaking wolf or a bear, like, fighting off big ants, and yours is, like,
my aunt
your aunt's
bugging me with her. But it was, again, like, she did it all through our lives.
Yeah,
like, we would go down there when we were teenagers, and I think you even came with us once, or a couple times. We would go down there and go swimming in their pool.
Where at?
Phoenix.
Yeah.
So,
they're in Quartzsite. I went on a bunch of those. Your grandparents.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying, I went on a few different trips with you. Yeah.
And so she used to do that with us when we were teenagers. She would sit behind us on the couch because we always had to sit close because the remotes were
right there,
corded.
Yeah.
And so we'd have to sit closer, and she would sit behind us, and she'd sit there and bug the crap out of us.
Nintendo, make your NES remotes cordless. That's what I'm saying.
They sell versions of it.
No, just joking.
Okay, I was like, they do have them.
Go back to 1984 and take the cords off the damn things.
Talking about time travel, real quick. Sorry, I was listening to a guy talking about time travel. It is a comedian, so I'm not trying to say it was my joke, and I'm gonna botch it terribly. But I thought it was hilarious.
Carlos Mencia over here, everybody.
He's like, if I went back in time, I don't think it would make a difference. It's like I legitimately don't think anything I could say or do would change the future. Like, hey, there'll be somebody on the phone. And he's like, yeah, they'll have that in your pocket one day. And he's like, how? He's like, I don't know. It's something to do with satellites. And they're like, satellites? What's that? And he's like, I don't know. Like, nothing I could say. They could sit there and be like, okay, prove to me you're from the future. Who's the next president? You know what? I'm just going to live here. I thought it was the greatest thing because I started thinking about it. I was like, there's a lot of things that I just
Don't know.
I couldn't explain. Like, how would you actually prove that unless you were like, hey, this is how you make the phone. Here
Yeah.
is a phone. Because you can know how to make that. But you go back to 1900, there's none of those parts. You cannot prove it. I was like, that's a great point.
Yeah, up until the late 40s, you can't invent most of our technology.
Yeah. So I thought
Like-
I just thought it was the funny. I don't think I would make a difference.
Like it took World War II for us to actually have technological advancement.
Yep.
Like, yeah, it's pretty wild. If I could go back in time, I'd just make myself really rich.
Well, it depends,
I'd be hot tub time machine in it, dude.
depends on how far you went back too, because that makes a big difference. You go back
Well-
10 years, yes. You go back 150 years, it doesn't matter what you do.
150 years. It depends. Am I going time traveling on purpose, or am I hot tub time machine in it where I didn't have a choice?
Let's say no choice.
No choice. Or what about if I choose to go back in time, but I didn't realize I'm going back that far? Or so it really comes down to the circumstance, because if I know I'm going back 150 years, I would just research where certain mines are,
Yeah.
and I would just go back and make myself gold rich. If I'm only going back 80 years, I would make myself rich based off of like Ma Bell, IBM. I'd be buying stock and probably getting gold. So I think it really depends on if I knew where I was going and if I knew I was going at all. If I didn't know I was going at all, then it really depends. I mean, I'm mostly white, so I'd be okay. But I'm pretty damn tan
And it
from all
depends
the
on where you
native
go.
blood. Yeah. So the native blood, if anyone there realized that I was like part Cherokee, they'd be like, I think we might need that scalp, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I think it really depends on where I go and when I go.
And if you can do anything before you go and what you can take. There's a lot of variables there.
Yeah,
If you
dude.
could take a cell phone back, the new cell phone, you could take that back 15 years, you would be millionaire.
Oh, billion,
Yeah.
dude.
So it just so you could show the technology.
and
if you
I
can't
could
take that,
and then I would
you're
take my billions and I would buy out Apple and never let it be a thing, because I don't like Apple.
it is annoying. I'm not a fan of it.
But
either.
yeah, dude, if you like
I don't hate it.
next president thing, like I'm good from like the 60s to now.
Mm-hmm.
Anything before then, I can't remember. Like, I know FDR was the worst president we've ever had. I will argue with that in the comments. Comment down below. But like I lose like who was in the. I even remember in junior high having those stupid little picture pages that shows like names in a fun, like I'm trying to think. There's a term for it when you take like make a picture of a word to make it like to where you can remember it.
Oh, yeah.
So like Washington was this giant washing machine washing a ton of laundry. And then it had other things next to it to give you reference of size. So it was Washington. And then like, I don't remember what they did for Lincoln, but like there were certain images that the teacher had for each president so you could memorize in order.
That's cool.
And around that time I realized I don't need this information, because knowing what president was in which number in which order is going to have no bearing on me digging a ditch. So
You future
exactly. I was hoping you'd call back with Louis C.K. But like, I'm like, dude, some of this information is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Like Sherlock Holmes had it best. What does it make a difference? What difference does it make knowing the Earth goes round and round the sun, or the Earth goes round and round a teddy bear? It makes no difference.
Nothing to us.
Exactly. It has no bearing. My bills are the same.
Physicist, different story. I understand that. But
Yeah, but the common man, it has no bearing. And even to a physicist, the only thing it differs is how they accommodate for the circumstance.
and the Earth is flat. It's not.
See, that's funny because it's the
Just
third
kidding.
time this week that's come up, because my buddy Kelly is a flat earther, and he's like, "Oh, dude, I could do that. I could show you this. I was like, Kelly, whether the Earth is round spherically or round flat, my bills are the same. My job is the same. My hobbies are the same. Like, it has no bearing. I said, so Kelly, I'm never going to be on your side with this. I'm
never
just
gonna
not.
research it.
I'm never going to research. I don't care. Like, first off, I believe in the sphere. You're not going to change my mind. Like, and I wasn't being a dick. I was like, we've had this conversation more than once. And he's always like, bro, I could show you. I'm like, you can show me whatever you want. If you send it to me, I'm not going to click on the link. Don't send it.
Yeah.
Like, the Earth is a sphere, and whether either one of us is right doesn't change a freaking thing.
Not for
Like,
me.
so, and I was like, why does this matter to you? And he was like, I just want to know the truth. And I said, why is that the truth you want to know?
Yeah.
What the truth I want to know is, where's the gold from the World Towers? Like, the World Trade Center. Where's that gold? That's the truth I want to know.
Yeah. There's certain
That
things
does
I
have bearing because it proves that, once again, our government is the bad guy. And if you're watching this, you're the freaking bad guy, or government. Anyways,
All right.
yeah, I won't get you into any more tangents because you have to go touch meat.
I do have to touch meat. And not my own.
It is your own. It is your meat.
I bought it.
You're going to go to your house and touch your meat
But originally it
in
wasn't
front of children. From Tucson, Arizona, I'm Randy.
mine. I'm Nick.
Goodbye, everybody.